A super quick history of Albania.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Mr.
Yo, that scared me, not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting the thunder and the lightning.
This is Europe, and that there is Albania. People have lived here for many thousands of years. Now let's see what's been going on, shall we? Not much is or can be known about the earliest peoples, but by the mid-2000s BC, the people here were speaking an ancestor of the Greek language, and by 2000 BC, the area was inhabited by a people called the Illyrians. They were not a united people, and they remain rather mysterious, though we do know that the Greeks and Romans had nothing but contempt for them. The Illyrian tribes were not exactly passive,
Gangster
and were not
motherfuckers, bro. I'm like, you want to what? Like, gangster, bro.
So everything's accurate so far?
No. The truth is, our DNA is more continuous and less mixed with than today's modern Greeks. Facts. We carry a certain DNA strand that's older than the Greeks, bro. And more continuous, meaning less mixing with other ethnicities. So we are very ancient people to the Balkans.
Are you guys still really adamant about that, marrying other Albanians?
Yeah.
So even right now, like even your kid, right, he's probably going to marry Albanians.
Now, is intermarriage starting to happen? Yeah, because the internet, stuff like that. But I would say we're still probably about 90% ethnocentric.
That's crazy.
We're about 90. It's like, I would say less than, I would say 10% of Albanians marry out.
So that's got to be one of the highest groups.
You know, it used to be only 1 out of 100. Right? That's a big change in the last 20 years.
And they'd get ostracized, huh?
Used to get ostracized, bro. And it wasn't about being racist. It's about we're fighting for survival. So we're only we're like 7 million people, bro. 6 million. If we all intermarry, that's it. It's the end of our race, our ethnicity, you know?
Yeah.
The Illyrian tribes were not exactly passive and would not uncommonly launch attacks into neighboring lands. Largely in response to the Illyrian pirate raids sanctioned by Queen Tuta, the Romans marched into Illyria and conquered it. After a long and brutal campaign, what is now Albania became a part of a Roman region called Illyricum, and it was a lot better behaved under the Roman heel. In fact, a number of Illyrians would go on to become Roman emperors, including Aurelian, Diocletian, and Constantine the Great.
So what's crazy about us is that once we were incorporated into the ancient Roman Empire, we ended up saving Rome, bro. The Illyrians, my ancestors, my cousin's name is Illyr. You met him at the place where my brother and him work. That's his name, Illyr.
Okay.
It also means to be free. We still speak the language, bro. We have a very ancient language. Illyria.
Was that it? That's your rant?
We saved Rome multiple times.
Okay.
I think the history I did was like 17 times. And a lot of the emperors, because we ended up being the most elite soldiers in the entire Roman Empire. Like, we were the most gangster motherfuckers in all of Rome back then. Facts.
All of the beleaguered Western Roman Empire in 476, Albania remained within the Eastern Roman or Byzantine Empire. Albania suffered greatly from the tumult and turmoil engulfing so much of Europe at this time. From 529 to 640, it was invaded by the Antai, the Huns, Lombards, Gepids, Slavs, and Avars. Not a pleasant time at all. Officially a part of Byzantium, but still having ties to...
Wait, what was the difference with the Slavs back then? Because isn't Albania considered a Slavic?
We've been fighting them since the 7th century.
So what are the Slavs?
They speak a Slavic language. People that have like roots from like the Russian lands, the Caucasus. People who speak like, you know, Slavic languages, but they're completely different people.
Like what? What are some examples?
Serbian.
Serbians.
Bosnian. Croatian. Bulgarian. Romanian.
Okay.
Polish. Polish is not full, it's mixed with Slavic.
So you guys had beef with them for a long time.
Well,
and now you're considered Slavic, right?
No, we're not Slavic, dogs. That's the amazing thing about my people. With all these invasions, we still speak an ancient language that only we speak, dude. Considered one of the oldest, if not original, Indo-European language, dude. It's called Ship. That's how we speak.
Chat, am I retarded for not knowing this stuff?
Like, tu met kap, eller met arras, den shuplak ftyres, met arras I shuplak, 𝐂𝐥𝐤 bro. Se na jena njerëz ma të vjetër në këtë Evropë.
What are you saying, bro?
Na kena më shku në luftë deri në vdekje se na shqiptar, bro.
Yo.
Na jena shqiptar, bro.
You're like a Family Guy episode where
na jena shqiptar,
you go off on the skits and you just like you go to get water and come back and they're still on the skit they're doing. That's
na jena shqiptar, bro.
What did you say?
We are Albanians.
It's
wrong button, man.
Rome, Albanian religious life became a rather dichotomous one, with ties to both Eastern and Western Christianity. When the church officially split in 1054, North Albania was Catholic and the South was Orthodox. Around 1079...
So the top was... Let me hear that again.
79. Byzantine historian...
We actually had a lot to do with the spreading of Christianity also, by the way.
You guys went like this?
We had a lot to do with... No, like, we were, like, Constantine... Like, bro, there's a lot of, like... Bro, we were very involved in the Roman Empire, bro. Key player, bro. which I'm going to be honest, I didn't really know until like a couple months ago. I'm going to be real. Like I would hear all these rumors, we did, and then I started like doing the research and it's like verified, like historians. The DNA test came out. They're not too happy about that. It's really funny when people don't want to talk about DNA. It's funny. You know, son?
Byzantine historian Michael Attaliatis mentions the word Albanians for the first time in history that all historians agree on. Back in the 2nd century, however, the geographer Ptolemy referred to an Illyrian tribe called the Albanoi, which some squabble over, but I think proves the modern Albanians are descended, at least in part, from the Illyrians. The area was overrun by the Normans in the late 11th century as the Byzantine Empire weakened. Then an Albanian prince named Progon arose and established an independent state that lasted till the mid-1200s. Then the Serbs came along and conquered Albania, ruling it till their empire fell in 13.
So you guys were ruled by Serbs for a while. That's true.
We were never ruled. It was just an ongoing war, kid. Never ended.
So Albanians always kept fighting back?
They tried to take away our language. Invasion after invasion, my people survived. Generation after generation, we parried down through song and dance and storytelling.
Why would you guys both be beefing?
We are the Illyrians.
So why would you guys be beefing? It wasn't religious,
they wanted
right?
Our land, yeah, but it wasn't religious. Albanians were Orthodox and Catholic, and then eventually a good, portion of the people became Muslim under the Ottoman Empire. Some of it was because of force, and a lot of it was also just straight up they wanted power and influence, bro. A lot of Albanians in the Ottoman Empire became pashas. They controlled Greece under them. They became Muhammad Ali. So a lot of them also did it because it was convenience and the empire, they could move up. But a lot of them, depending what part they were in, how long they kept fighting against the Turks. So it was convenient for them to, to convert. Some of them, they took the children and sent them to Istanbul and made them janissaries, like elite soldiers.
Ruling it till their empire 1355. Albania found itself split under the rule of various feudal lords. Then, in the late 14th century, just when the people thought they could relax, the Ottoman Turks invaded. Enter Skanderbeg, perhaps the greatest Albanian of all. This commander and military genius severely impeded Ottoman progression into Western Europe, while also uniting the divided Albanian people and instilling in them a sense of national consciousness and identity. His many victories over much larger Turkish forces are all the more remarkable considering that he fought the Ottomans at their peak in power. This was not the alien Ottoman Empire.
Power, always numbered 5-1, 10-1. He won, bro. He was
gangster.
Yeah, but to be fair, he was sent to Istanbul because when they conquered Albania, they took him to Istanbul, trained him, so he knew their strategies. He was just brilliant as a warrior.
It's so crazy too back then. Like you didn't have drones and shit to scout out the land ahead of time.
Like a bunch of tribes that are not even trained on that level. How ferocious they were to stand against the superpowers. Like fighting America today, dude.
Bro, what a different world, dude. Where communication was really by just like...
We were the Albanians.
The only way to communicate was you sent a messenger. You told a guy a message, you maybe gave him a piece of paper, and he had to run there. He had to get there. So crazy, dude.
We are the Albanians.
Peak in power. This was not the ailing Ottoman Empire of the 19th century. This was them in their prime, and he held them back for 24 years. But after Skanderbeg, there was no one to resist the Turkish incursion, and a decade later, the Ottomans came back and conquered it. Many Albanians fled to Italy, and the remaining populace over the...
Okay, so this is where the Albanians headed into Italy,
This is where your great-great-grandmother got some Pichadel from Albania.
Why you gotta say it like that?
I'm talking about from 2,000 years ago.
This is not 2,000 years ago. This is 1480.
It's long enough. Can you even go back 3 generations? Can you even go back? Can you name your great-great-great-grandfather? Most of you can. I can. I can't say it publicly. I can go back 7 generations. That's the difference between us and you.
Wow.
Centuries, mostly all slowly converted to Islam. Under Ottoman rule, numerous Albanians rose to positions of great power, such as Ali Pasha. But as
you know who that is?
Yeah, the guy ran Greece. So like when they say, "Oh, they forced us," no, a lot of us. I can't even say converted. Because they wanted to convert. They just wanted the access, bro. The power, the money. Because once you were a part of the empire, you could work for the empire. You understand? You got positions. So it was some type of like economic influence. You know what I mean? You're going to do better if you convert. You're not going to,
Yeah. You know what's really...
You're going to get treated better.
When was the first Quran translated to another language? 7th century. Lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Parts of the Quran were translated into Persian. 8th to 9th century, more systematic translations into Persian appeared under Abbasids. 12th century, the first full translation into a European language was into Latin. 16th century, the Quran was translated into Italian. Interesting. I was under the impression that there was never a translation until like only a couple hundred years ago, which is like how did these people, like what logically makes them accept Islam when they don't know like the scientific, numerical, historical miracles of it? You know, is it just like the worshiping of one God?
If you're under an empire, bro, their influence, you're going to feel their influence, bro. There's just no way you're not going to feel it, you know? The truth of the matter is, bro, like, look at today's world. Can you say that everyone you know is, like, no one's religious? So a lot of people sell out anyway, right? So if I'm going to get money or power or position, what's the difference between converting to a religion or being how girls are? Like do people really do it because they believe or they wanted to have the influence? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's just what's so interesting is because right now, like the reason my faith in Islam is so high is because it's like you can't prove that the Quran isn't from a divine source. You can't prove that all that information that the Prophet had wasn't from God. Like it could, the book in my eyes, like it couldn't have been man-made. That's what's so fascinating about it to me. It's the logical aspect of it. So like for all these people throughout time that didn't convert because of that, it's just fascinating, you know? They had different motives.
Such as Ali Pasha, but as with all regions ruled by the Ottomans, they were kept back from the Western European Renaissance and later scientific and industrial revolutions, meaning they were more or less stuck in the medieval era right up to the 20th century. Albania was not spared the feverish nationalism that swept over Europe in the late 19th century, and a number of revolts against Turkey flared up as a result. On the 28th of November 1912, the Albanian people, led by Ismail Kamali, finally declared independence. The great powers, in redrawing the map of Europe, limited Albanian territory, so some 40% of Albanians were left outside Albania's borders, including those of Kosovo. Albania was basically a battlefield during World War I, and in the ensuing years underwent a time of political turbulence that left one 𝐂𝐥𝐤𝐿 in charge. From 1928, he ruled under the strangely
My mom's great uncle was the minister of the royal court. My cousins were the knights and the bodyguards of the king. Straight up, his bodyguards, knights, just so you know.
Sounding name of King 𝐁𝐞𝐤, and introduced reforms.
Someone said, Sonny, Islam also wins by process of elimination, the only pure monotheistic religion that's also fully preserved. The miracles are a nice bonus. Yes, true. Like just hearing worship God alone, pray to God alone, that just makes sense. And I know that's how like the prophets throughout time got people to accept the message.
The Serbian language is nothing like Albanian. Nothing at all like Albanian. Like, not even close.
Banned Sharia law and allied with fascist Italy. Now, Albanian economic dependence on Italy began to bother Mr. Mussolini, who decided it would be better if Italians ran the show. So Italy invaded in April 1939 and took over. 2 years later,
you guys got taken over in World War II?
Yes, bro. You guys backstabbed us, you
Albanian Communist Party was formed, and a school teacher named Enver Hoxha soon became top dog.
You don't like this guy?
Like this guy sent my great-grandfather to prison for 28 years, this piece of shit. And he never see a day of sunlight in the next life. He also took faith out of Albania for any religion you're Christian, doesn't matter. God kept us in darkness for 50 years.
Didn't it used to be like if you were making like cleaning yourself for prayer and you went like this to clean your elbows, they would just kill you?
I don't know, dude. I wasn't there. But all I know is that it was brutal, bro. My family was starving inside there. They didn't have food to eat because of this guy, bro. Go ahead, push play.
A few years later, after a violent civil war, the Communist Party gained control with Hoxha at the helm. With characteristic haste, the Communists began an enormous purge of suspected enemies. Rich people had their money and property confiscated, factories and mines were nationalized, and so on. Albania was poised to merge with communist Yugoslavia, but when that Balkan Union broke from the Soviets in 1948, Albania sided with the USSR and Stalin, who sent much-needed economic aid. After Stalin died and Khrushchev wanted to de-Stalinize things, Albania was upset, and rather than reform, it looked to the stern and more Stalinesque China under Mao. Soviet aid was stopped, and Chinese aid began. In 1967, Communist Albania declared itself the world's first atheist state. Mosques and
Bro, what?
Yeah, kid.
Wow.
First atheist state. Mosques and churches were shut, and if you dared to worship God in any way, you would be thrown into prison. But when, in the 1970s, China and America became less hostile to each other, Albania and China broke up, so to speak. Albania struggled along in poverty and political corruption until the Communist Party lost power in 1990. And though inexperienced in capitalism and still flirting with dubiously beneficial socialist politics, signs seem to indicate improvement for Albania. What do you think? Comment below, but for now, bye-bye.
So 1990, that's right when there was the massacre, right?
I went there right after communism fell. Bro, I couldn't wait to get the and now it's actually pretty nice. It's become a very big place for tourism right now. But, yeah, dude, we have a very... You see, how rough is our history, dude? It's a pretty rough history, dude. Always invaded, never catching a break, always being killed, murdered, oppressed, always...
Not even 100 years ago, you literally couldn't pray without getting killed.
No.
And so wait, your family got massacred in Albania. Why is that?
In Kosovo.
So what happened?
That was because of the Serbs.
So that wait, is that when they were fighting Bosnia as well?
Yeah.
So and that was religious intentions?
Between the Bosnians and the Serbs, yes, because they're basically the same people. They speak the same language, but the religion's what divides them. Us, we have nothing in common. We don't speak the same language. We're not the same ethnicity. We don't share the same DNA. And my people are mixed. My people are Christian, Muslim, Catholic, Orthodox, Bektashi, which is like a deviation of Shiism, basically Sufism. So, you know, religion never divided my people because we always saw everyone as foreigners and occupiers, you know?
So you guys are always united by being Albanian. Like if you have...
The Albanians have an expression. They go, 𝐂𝐥𝐤𝐲 𝐋𝐶𝐫. Don't worry about the mosque. Don't worry about the church. The religion of Albanians is Albanianism.
So it's like nationality, family, religion.
Yeah, because they say you can't change your nationality, right? You can't change what you're born.
If it's pure, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not mixed.
But you could always change your faith. So it's if you look at it from that perspective, that's actually a healthy perspective. Like, why kill each other? We're the same people. You practice your religion. They have respect for each other. It's beautiful. It doesn't mean that they're saying don't be a Muslim. They're just like, this is more important. Like for us here, like we're all the same people. We don't need to fight each other and kill each other.
So the Albanian Christians, Catholics, and Muslims don't fight each other?
Nope. And they all get along and they wish each other happy holidays. And it's actually, I'm very proud of the Albanian people. Bro. Very proud. Like they have a very good tolerance for each other with all the that's gone on in the world, you know?
Interesting. Well, that was nice to learn.
That was a pretty decent, very quick, left out a lot of detail, but it got to the bullet points.
I mean, it's called a super quick history of Albania. So
yeah, he's doing better than both of us. So
all right, make sure you guys hit the smash button, like, subscribe, click the link at the top of the description to watch us live on Pump Fun, and join the SunnyFaz Discord because we've had 4 accounts get banned this month. So who knows how long I'd even have this YouTube.
We need some soldiers.
We need some soldiers.
We need some help. We need you to come in the Discord. We need your backs. You guys love us. I love you. It's easy to say, I love you. I love you. Put your money where your mouth is. What I mean is come and be a part of this team. You get to talk to us. You get to talk to us off camera. I love you.
Well, the Discord's free, so.
And it's free. I love you.
So
come hang out with us.
I'm just yaps, man. He just doesn't even know what he's saying half the time. Peace.